Okay, that's all about the global market action. Of course, these will have an impact on our own markets as well. We have big cues coming up in our domestic markets. So let's get in our research team joining in bright and early to tell us what the trade setup looks like, the stocks that are likely to be in the news, and the action from the F&O space as well. Hey guys, a very good morning to all of you. First up, Vivek, let me come across to you. What is the market setup looking like today?
Well, good morning. At least this particular week, it appears also the underperformance that we've seen in our own markets versus the rest of the globe and emerging, Asian markets seems to have ended at least for this particular week. So, hopefully that particular trend can continue. Talking about the Qs, overnight Qs have been quite subdued. US markets, like you mentioned, most of them have ended slightly lower. European markets too, very similar handover given over there. Most of the European markets too ending marginally lower. Good part is crude oil prices also stayed quite flat overnight, despite the negative news flow that has come in as far as crude prices are concerned. So Brent futures now trading closer to the $85 a barrel mark, while WTI futures are close to $80.6 a barrel mark. Now coming closer to the Indian markets, for the first time in 2023, we saw gains for 4 straight sessions, and mainly these particular gains were aided as far as the benchmark indices were concerned by the HDFC twins and also select banks from the mid cap as well as the large cap space. Now, also, after a while, you saw L&T leading the pack. A strong rally yesterday after the order win. So, good start as far as FY24 is concerned, even for the cap goods space. Now, today, of course, the RBI MPC meet outcome, the trajectory there, the commentary there will be very keen, and especially how financials and rate sensitives perform, post that particular meet will be very important to watch out for. Also, select, consumer companies have come out with their quarterly updates, especially DMart. So that too will be very important to keep track of. Asian markets subdued, SGX indicating a mild gap down for our own markets.
Okay, all right. There's some recovery in Hang Seng though. Thank you so much, Vivek, for joining us with all those cues. Let's talk about some stocks that will be in focus as well. Surbhi is joining us with that list. Surbhi.
Hi, good morning. Thanks for that. So we continue to track the Q4 business updates that keep pouring in. The first one is coming from Equitas Small Finance Bank, where their gross advances were up 36% on a year-on-year basis, and the disbursements that were up 80% on a year-on-year basis. Next is Cholamandalam Investment and Finance, where the disbursements were up 65% on a year-on-year basis, and the collection efficiency came in at 130%. Ujjivan Small Finance Bank, their total deposits grew 39% and crossed 25,000 crores, and the CASAs showed a growth of 35% on a year-on-year basis. Next is Avenue Supermarts. They reported a standalone revenue of 10,337 crores for the quarter, and the total number of stores opened in this quarter were 324. Tata Steel, their India production volume was up 5.1% at 5.15 million tons, and the delivery volume was up 0.6%. And lastly, Nykaa, they reported their Q4 business update, and they say that the BPC segment sees a higher growth on a year-on-year basis in Q4, and at consolidated level, they expect to sustain the growth rate, which was they reported in 9-month FY23 period.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much for that, Surbhi. Finally, let me go across to Nigel, joining in with all the cues from the F&O space. Hey, Nigel, good morning.
Well, morning, Sonal. And yesterday, in fact, we had a very, very good trading session. The Nifty did very, very well, and the large cap names did particularly well. Now, in terms of a data point that's coming from the F&O market, there was short covering both on the Nifty as well as the Nifty Bank. And on the market on the whole, it appeared that the Nifty Bank did see a bigger short covering bounce. But that wasn't the case from the FIs. Because, yes, the FIs covered shorts. They covered close to 25,000 contracts on the short side. They added close to 6,000 contracts on the long side. But if you look at it more closely, the short covering that we saw from the FIs in particular was on the Nifty, not on the Nifty Bank. On the option side, well, they bought both puts as well as calls yesterday. They bought a little bit more puts than calls. But what's encouraging to see is that they were writing puts yet again. And yesterday, they wrote close to around 2 lakh put contracts. Where was the writing? Well, it came in at the Nifty as well as the Nifty Bank, and the PCR now has moved up to around 1.4 in comparison to 1.15. Remember, we're moving towards the higher end of the band. The band has been around 0.7 to around 1.5 odd, so we're nearly at the higher end of the band. What was getting written yesterday? 17,500, 17,400 put, which brings us to the levels. Support zone is at around 17,450. You have the 200 DMA is bang in line at around that 1700, 500 odd. So 17,450 to 17,500, you like to defend that mark. On the Nifty Bank, the 41,000 put, well, that was very, very active. The premium ended at around 155, but at the start of the day, it was close to around 250. So you deduct 250 from around 41,000 odd, you get your crucial support zone on the Nifty Bank itself, which is around that 50 DMA out there. And on the upside, the 100 DMA, that's a crucial mark. SGX Nifty is indicating a pullback. But the Nifty Bank yesterday was an underperformer. Today, the Nifty Bank will take center stage. Back to you.
Of course, it will. Thank you so much, Nigel, Surbhi and Vivek for joining us and prepping us up for this crucial trading day ahead. Time for a short break now. When we return,